A mustard seed. A mustard seed. So this morning, as I was doing my prayers and reading my word and kind of doing my meditation, um, God brought to me a mustard seed. They were sitting on my table, and I was like, I had a project that I wanted to do with them. Not a project, but something that I wanted to do with them. I had just hadn't gotten to it. But then I started reading Matthew 17, and it was, the story about the man who had brought his son to the mountain to get prayed for because he was having, the way that it's translated is seizures, and he kept falling and hurting himself. And he brought it to the disciples, and they couldn't heal him. So then, Jesus was like, well, bring him here, prayed for him, rebuked the demon out of him, and he left, and the boy was fine. And then the disciples asked him, well, Jesus, why couldn't we cast out the demon? And he said, now this is, I forgot what translation this is, but it says, you don't have enough faith. Jesus told them, I tell you the truth. If you had faith even as small as a mustard seed, you could say to this mountain, move from here to there, and it would move. Nothing would be impossible. And I'll show you the mustard seed again. If you look at this little mustard seed, it's tiny, tiny, minuscule. And to think, that faith that tiny in God can do anything, can do mightier things than having faith in anything else. Having faith in man, in the world, anything. But we're talking about genuine faith. We're talking about it's not about the amount of faith you have. It's not about the amount of faith you have. It's about the quality of your faith. Is your faith genuine? Do you wholeheartedly trust God? Trust God with that faith. Like, that's the type of faith we're talking about. Moving a mountain is metaphoric, or it can be metaphoric. Maybe back then, things like that happened, parting Red Seas, and all that stuff happened back then. We don't see a whole lot of that these days, not those types of miracles, but metaphorically speaking, it's an obstacle, it's a situation. It can be an addiction, anything that you're believing God to work on. Just having that little bit of faith, true faith, real faith, knowing God can do it. That little amount of faith can change your whole situation. And again, it's not about the quantity, it's about the quality. And led me to think, about even on my worst days, days where I felt like nothing was going to get better, that there was nothing that I can do to change my situation. I always had that little bit of faith. I always knew in the back of my mind, in my heart, that God can change the situation in an instant. He can bring me through it and out of every single situation that I was in. I mean, I've seen it time and time again. And sometimes we get discouraged because things get hard and situations get unbearable to us here in the flesh, in our human bodies. It feels like we just can't take it anymore. But I always had just enough faith in every situation, knowing that God can change it, whether it was addiction, homelessness, depression, anxiety, a relationship, whatever it was. And I've dealt with all of those. Um, I was always able to muster up just that little mustard seed of faith and cry out to God and just ask Him for deliverance, for healing, for a way out of whatever the situation was. And He's done it instantly. He's done it over time. He's moved in ways that I would never ever have been able to do on my own. Brought people into my life to help me, gave me whatever tools I needed to bring myself out of the situation. Things that I know I couldn't have done on my own. And I think we forget that God sees the bigger picture. God can see what's going to happen today, tomorrow, the next month, next year, 5 years. God can see the bigger picture. We see what's right in front of us. We see what, oh my gosh, I can't handle this right now. Not knowing what's on the other side of this trial, what's on the other side of whatever you're going through right now. So I just want to encourage you today to just find that little mustard seed of faith that you have in you and make it count. Make it count. Come to God genuinely with that little bit of faith, knowing that He's going to do it. And it's going to work out. Again, we don't know how long it's going to take. We don't know who He's going to bring to bless us. We don't know where He's going to take us. We don't know. But we do know, or I do know, that He's going to bring us through. He's going to deliver us. He's going to make it all work together for His good and His glory. So I just encourage you today again to just find that mustard seed of faith. And if you need prayer, if you need some encouragement, be sure to comment down below, and I would love to pray for you. And I pray that you all have an amazing day. Be blessed and be the reason someone smiles.